Hello, my name is KorianBrady, and this is my presentation for my entrepreneurial toolbox for my entrepreneurial class, ENT 630. And my topic today is sources and uses of cash. So, cash flows. Really, the statement of cash flows is the financial statement that summarizes the amount of cash and cash equivalents entering and leaving the business. It measures how well the business generates cash to pay the debt and the funding operating expenses. The cash flow statement takes the monthly expenses and reverses it, so you can see how much cash you have on hand in reality. Really, cash flow statements, you have to focus on cash flow statements for the day-to-day operations of the company. You have to have a clear picture of the money coming in versus the money going out. From here, the entrepreneur or the leaders in the business can use the excess funds to invest or finance or do it or expand their business in some way, shape, or form. So, some benefits to having a healthy cash flow. Um, you can use it, like I said, for your benefits. Developing new products, buying back stocks, paying dividends to investors, or reducing the debt on your company. With this extra cash, you can also buy that new machine. You can also freelance for the coding for your app you want to build one day. It really broadens your opportunity to build and grow. Additionally, you are more attracted to investors. It shows your positive cash flow shows that their money invested will have a greater return, and they'll be inclined to invest and pour more money in your business because they know they'll get that money back 2 times, 3 times as much. Additionally, with lenders, it shows the lenders that you can pay back the loan that they lent you, and your cash flow is the indicator for that. Uh, this will allow you to achieve a lower interest rate as well, which can save the company money in the long run. Really, the cash flow is the oxygen in the veins of the business, the day-to-day exhale inhale of the business. So, obtaining a healthy cash flow. How do you obtain a healthy cash flow? I think first you have to look at traction. Where do you get your traction from? And converting that traction into profits. For example, if I own a gym, I might find traction in sportswear apparel and converting that into some type of sales. Avoiding overspending, especially with startups, is very easy to overspend when we're trying to start something from nothing. Just creating a budget and staying within that budget so you're not spending more than you make. Um, and also in the startup community, borrowing money is very popular, but we have to ensure that that borrowed money is used to increase our income, increase the net worth. So we're not lending money and not getting anything in return. And overall, just increase productivity. Maybe you don't have to go buy a new machine, but the current machine can produce more. That can in turn lower your overhead costs as well as increase your income potentially. So the downside of having less cash flow, you're really you're kind of stuck. You can't move as fast as you want to. For banks or for lenders, it shows that you're less credible to pay back the loan, so you're subject to see a higher interest rate. Um, and they might not lend you the amount of money you want. It's really a lose-lose. It also limits your ability to grow. Um, You can't expand. You can't buy that extra machine. You can't outsource. You're really limited to the skills and abilities within the company. It decreases investors' interest because it shows that um, the money that they invest might not come back 2 times, 3 times, so they might be less inclined to invest. Of course, unless your idea is a great idea and they believe in it. And I think the main downside is it destroys your competitive advantage. Especially in the startup world, you have to move, you have to pivot very quickly, and in this day and age, you have to have that ability to adapt and change. And having less cash on hand really limits that ability. You can't go out and acquire what you need to acquire to build and grow. So there's 3 sections. There's 3 sections to the cash flow statement. First is the operating activities. This is everything related to your net worth. So your revenue, really your revenue and your expenses. The investing activities. This is all your short-term loans, long-term loans, equipment, plant, buildings, any real estate the company owns. This will fall under that section. And finance activities. Any stocks you want to repurchase or um, dividend you want to repay. Really, the management of these 3 functions will dictate the day-to-day and the lifeline of the company. Correct management and proper management of these three sections will enable your company to grow at a much faster rate. So here's an example of, I call it an unhealthy cash flow statement. Basically saying that the net cash flow is negative, as you see, mainly because of the additional property, plants, and equipment is so high. So how do we fix this? First thing you do is increase your cash received from your clients. Either you can increase the cost of goods, so the customers are paying more. Um, you can increase uh, the cash received from say any vendors or third parties, or you can try to decrease the property, plant, and equipment, maybe consolidating your business into one building, or maybe refinancing that loan, something to get um, something to break even or be positive with your cash flow. I think the first step or the easiest step is to increase sales, really. So sorry that this is blurry, but this is a good example. It just shows that there's a positive cash flow, or sorry, positive net cash flow. Um, there's more money coming in than going out. It's that simple. And I think the key is to, or I'll get into that later. Sorry. So how can we as entrepreneurs attain a healthy cash flow? I really think we should pay attention to our spending habits. Since our startup costs are usually very high in startups, we have to be very careful about our spending and make sure our spending isn't on things that's not necessary. Be careful with the borrowed money. Not all money, that borrowed money needs to be replaced by income. If that borrowed money isn't producing income, we're just gaining more and more debt. That can be bad for the business as we try to reach out to investors or get more money to stay alive. This leads to, you have to seek wide and far profitability, traction. Back to my gym example, um, you know, selling apparel, selling workout plans, selling meal preps, you know, anything in the health and fitness industry, I think is inside your realm and that you should attack. And this can increase your income, which can also obviously increase your cash flow. So some common pitfalls that I thought about I touched on borrowing too much money. You need enough income to make sense of that borrowed money, and your inability to pivot when you don't have cash. But I think the main thing I want to focus here is the collaboration. Too often that we think that we have to be the main person on top of the hill, but really I think the key to success is the collaboration inside your industry. For instance, a gym, I might want to collaborate with a supplement company, or I might want to collaborate with a well-known fitness person in the community. This will open up your opportunity to gain more clients and in turn increase your cash flow and your income. That is in this presentation. Here are all the citations that I use, and thank you.